In this lesson, we're gonna talk about the boundary limits, and we also gonna do some type of questions. So I hope you guys can understand some sort of idea. You're gonna get some idea about these boundary sequences and limits. So let's get started. Well, when you talk about a boundary limits, what the boundary limits means, it means that it has upper bound and also lower bound. So you cannot go out of the lower bound and also the upper bound. So that limit cannot go. It's just a restricted. It's just the boundary. It's bounded by the upper and also by the lower bound. It's kind of like it's trapped in the middle. So that's the thing. So when you counter this one, when you counter this question, so let me just try to do some question that's gonna help you trying to get some idea. So when I interpret what I was saying in examples, uh, this one or when you take this example, -1 the whole the power of n or the n power, this is a boundary sequence, and the reason for that is when you take the even numbers of when you take even numbers and when you just write that even number instead of this n, let's just take some even numbers like 2, you're gonna get +1. Whatever the even number is, it can even be 4, it can be 20, all the even numbers, because -1 times by the even number or the even power, you're gonna get this +1. And when you take those odd numbers, or when you take, let's just take -1, the whole the power of 1, the whole power of 3, and all of those all powers, you're gonna get the -1 itself. So it means that it cannot go out of this one or -1. It's just it always be one and also -1. It always be one or -1. So you're not gonna get any other results other than this -1 and also one. So it means that if you guys got this type of questions, it means that this sequence is bounded and it is bounded by this one and also by this -1. So that's the thing, that's the idea of when you count this boundary sequence. It means that it cannot go out of these two upper bounds and lower bounds. It can actually be in the middle, but it cannot go out. That's the thing. It's just this in the middle. It's just that's the thing, or that's the idea of the boundary sequence. So I hope you guys get some sort of idea, get some sort of concept of this boundary sequence. So now let's do just some type of examples. So some other examples. So when you come to this next example is also a boundary sequence or it's a boundary limit. And the reason for that is if you guys get this type of question all the time that has n in the denominator and also in the numerator, you can actually say that this one is as a convergent. This one is actually convergent, and also this one is a boundary sequence. And it is bounded by what? It is bounded by one of the things that is bounded with is it is 5/3. The one with the n all the time. If you guys got this type of question that has n or the higher power, it can also there's also some type of question that's just 5n the whole the power of 2 or maybe whatever the power is minus 2n or stuff like that, and the whole over 20n the whole the power of 2 minus 5n or the whole of it and some stuff like that. If you guys get this type of questions all the time, what you have to do is just take this 5/20 or the higher power numbers, the variables. So that's what you gotta that's what you gotta do. So when you counter this question, it's just kind of like the same situation. So in this question, we got 5n minus n the whole over 3n. So we got these two n's. So for that reason, we're gonna get 5/3. So it's bounded by this 5/3. And then the other thing that's bounded by is let's just figure out that one. So let's just take 1. So when you take 1, 5 times by 1, the whole -1, the whole is 3 times by 1. So now 5 times by 1 is 5, so it can be 5/3 minus 1. So when you just subtract this thing, you're gonna get 5 minus 1, so this will be 4/3. So now I can say that this sequence, this 5n minus 1, the whole over 3n, is bounded by 4/3 and also 5/3. So it is bounded, it is a bounded sequence and it is bounded by 4/3 and 5/3. So this is how you know if the sequence is bounded or not. It's just if you guys got this type of n, it means that that sequence is bounded, so you just gotta look at that one. So actually, when it comes to these boundary sequences and also limits, it connects us with this convergency and also the divergent sort of questions. So I'm gonna make another video on that, and we're gonna do a lot of different questions when it comes to the divergent and the convergent sequence. But for this one, I think this is it. And since this concept is so simple and also so it's not complicated, it is so easy when it comes to the bounded and uh, the boundary sequence. So and the limits, it is kind of like a simple idea. So that's the reason that I get some short questions and also some small examples. So for that reason, this is it for this video. And I want you guys to check out the convergent and the divergent sequences. We're gonna do a lot of different examples on that one. So, but for this one, thanks for watching and have a nice time. And I hope you guys understand about some sort of thing about this boundary sequence and also limits. So thanks for watching.